I work as a night receptionist at the Gorsant Business Center, 17 Doge of glass and concrete, where it gets very quiet after 6 in the evening. My job is to bypass and check security systems. The usual work was normal until 2 months ago when the elevator started to get weird. It all started with little things. Sometimes the elevator arrived, although no one called it. The camera showed an empty cabin, and technicians checked the system several times. Everything is fine. Then other symptoms appeared. The buttons and the Doge started to heat up. Not all, only an even number. You touch it, and it burns your finger like chipped metal. My predecessor, Mikhail, was the first to notice the pattern. He kept a diary, wrote down everything strange that happened in the building. After he disappeared, I found this diary in my desk. The last entry was written by a third hand. Elevator rules. Never entering it alone after 23 hours. If you see your reflection inside, although there is no mirror, do not enter. If the elevator stops between floors, don't try to get out. Wait. If you hear children laughing, don't open the door. If someone is already riding in the elevator, look at their feet. They should touch the floor. Never press the -1 button. There is no basement in the building. I laughed at these rules. What nonsense, I thought. But then I started noticing the details. One night, the elevator took me to the wrong floor. The door opened at 16, even though I pressed the first one. It was cold in the cabin, very cold. Steam was coming out of the art, and on the wall appeared numbers, as if carved from the inside. The Noah of the clock. A week later, I met a cleaning lady crying in the lobby. She said that every night, at exactly midnight, the elevator descends to the first floor. The door opens, and out comes a man who is an exact replica of the one who last used the elevator. Only the eyes of the copy are black, completely black. Yesterday, I found a child's drawing in the elevator. There was a building layout on it, but there were more floors. Much more. And the entire space between the regular floors was filled with red lines that looked like a maze. It was written in a child's handwriting in the corner of the drawing, and they live in between. Today, during my crawl, I noticed the -1 button. It's never been there before. It appeared between the other buttons, as if it had appeared from inside the panel, and it pulsed with a faint red light, like a beating heart. I didn't want to press it. I really didn't want to. But something made me do it. I'm going downstairs now. Kabina has been moving for 15 minutes, although she should have reached the bottom point in seconds. The cheddar, etc., shows negative numbers. -23, -24, -25. And in the corner of the cabin I see my reflection. It's smiling. Although I know for sure that I'm not smiling. I'm writing this on my phone. There is still a connection. If you work in a high-rise building, especially at night, remember the rules. And never, ever press -1. The elevator has stopped. The doors are opening. I can hear children laughing. Communication has been interrupted. In the security service of the Bet's Horizon, if you find this phone in the elevator, do not try to follow me down. Just turn off the elevator, for always. From the materials of the internal investigation of the NPV Bet's Horizon, I am Andrei Viktorovich Sokolov, head of the security service of the Bets. The entire Horizon. I'm writing this touch because I have to record what happened. Although, we know, no one will believe me. A week has passed since the disappearance of the night manager Kirill Markov. His phone was found in the elevator. The screen was broken, but the note was preserved. I read it 20 times. I decided what had happened then. We looked behind the camera. At 23:47 Markov entered the elevator. At 23:48, the elevator began to descend. At 23 o'clock 49 minutes later, the camera in the cockpit showed interference. At 23:50, the connection was interrupted. At 0 o'clock, the elevator returned to the first floor. Empty. I've questioned all the staff. The cleaning lady, Anna Petrovna, was shaking and repeating her black eyes. A security guard on the ground floor admitted that he saw Markov leave the building at 1 o'clock in the morning. But when I checked the records, there was no one on them. The technicians inspected the elevator again. Everything worked perfectly, but they couldn't explain it. That this is an oddity in the blueprint. The elevator shaft went deeper than the foundation of the building allowed. I stayed on night duty yesterday. I wanted to figure it out personally. At 23:30, he began his rounds. Everything was quiet until I reached the elevator of that passage on the 16th floor. There was a child standing there, a boy about 10 years old in pajamas. He looked at me and smiled. And then he said, "Uncle Andrew, we took him away. He's playing with us now. Do you want one too?" I quit with him, but he ran into the elevator. The doors closed before I could reach them. The -1 button lit up on the panel. I spent the next 20 minutes. I'm trying to call the elevator. When he finally arrived, I found this inside. Attachment of a child's drawing with colored crayons on the drawing is a building diagram. But this is not only going up, but also down. There are hundreds of them, and between them are red veins like blood vessels and small figures. Lots of figures. I was smiling among them. I knew Markov and Mikhail, and all the others who have disappeared over the years. And now you know the signature at the bottom. Join the game. Today I noticed that a small red dot appeared on my badge. It pulsates like a -1 button. Don't try to find us. We'll find you on our own. When is the game time? End of the protocol. The memo. BS. Grezin Technical Service Department to the company management. According to the results of the inspection of the elevator equipment after the disappearance of Zakalov, the following anomalies were revealed. The floor counter shows a non-existent value. In the system memory, the calls are fixed non-existent floors. The temperature in the elevator shaft drops to -15 degrees for no apparent reason. The images of these children periodically appear on the cameras. Drawings are found in the cabin, which disappear when you try to remove them. The recommendation is to dismantle the elevator equipment and seal the shaft. While writing this note, a message appeared on the computer screen. "I know. We're already here. The file is corrupted.